Oh my goodness, we are back on a Sunday, and there's only 3 of us. What has happened? What happened to Tally? What happened to Eric? Oh my God, were their picture? Well, his picture was adorable, but the you guys being at the Critical Role show was pretty cool too. That was pretty
fun.
Pretty awesome. Yeah. What'd you guys think of it?
It was great. It was super fun. They kind of did something unusual in the first half, and it was just lively, and it was great. They're such good entertainers.
Yeah, that's the key, right? It's a big difference when you can like when I'll be honest, when I tend to listen to them when they play their campaigns. I prefer to listen because I like the theater of the mind practice, and I like to imagine what's going on. To see them live, it really was about their entertainment. They were epic entertainers. When Sam Riegel came out on the Greek theater dressed up as, heavy metal, long dreads, as his new character, I thought that was epic. What was the focus of the show? What did they play? A one shot? What'd they do?
It was a one shot, but we were sworn to secrecy about the content because it has not yet been released.
That's so right. We got to wait till Monday. Yeah, that's right. They did that to us at the Greek. It'll all drop on Monday, so that's cool because I know they drop all their stuff on Mondays.
And man, the crowd was electric.
Yeah, the crowd was
like hyped. Having like 10,000 people like screaming.
10,000 like gamer geek D&D Critical Role super fans, like all in that area.
Now. Like it was so, the energy in there was so cool. And like that's the thing. Like I obviously love D&D. I just had never taken the time to get into Critical Role, so I'm not as familiar with all the lore.
Yeah,
I've watched episodes here and there, but man, it made me just the energy in there made me want to like
go play.
I drive a lot. I drive a lot for work. And I should just start listening to him in the background like you do. And
that's what I do. I turn on my big hyper boom, in my studio. So when I'm working, like if all I'm doing is writing and working and planning campaigns, I just have it going on in the background, and it's just really. A lot of times I do it because I got to remind myself that not every mechanic in the game has been resolved. And when you hear other people resolve it the way they choose to resolve it, sometimes it's a great way to think about it. Like everybody loves the new mechanic for guidance, where now it's just an aura effect. If you're within 30 feet of somebody, you just get guidance. That. Like I've talked to 3 other DMs and like, holy shit, Jason, that's genius. What made you think of that? I said, well, guidance is merely somebody's partitioning of their thought process into someone doing something. So if somebody has the guidance ability, like I don't even really treat it as a cantrip. I think it makes more sense as an ability, like guidance, which is just a better version of the help, or actually a lesser version of the help action, right? Because the help action at least gives you a 2 in D20 chance of doing better. Whereas guidance just gives you that extra D4 on top of your single roll, right? So if you have someone helping you and giving you guidance, suddenly it's 2 in 20 with a D4. You know what I mean? And your odds get exponentially better when that happens. So I'm like, it just feels like rage, passive. Divine Smite, like we were just talking about, passive. It feels like it's a passive ability of a paladin.
Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blast, which is already a bonus, which is already a cantrip. You don't get that one. Do not get that one. And I know Giant Bane is a warlock tonight, so I know what you're
playing
up to.
A warlock.
Yeah,
that's what you're up to, and it ain't gonna happen.
This is a fun warlock too. I played this one in another level 21 shot. So
yeah,
it's my second time playing the character, and I've made some tweaks to it this time around for like with our equipment. So last time the guy just gave us he's like, here's your loot table. You guys decide. Like he rolled a whole bunch of stuff and was like, you guys pick what you want from it. So being able to be a little more selective in what I wanted to take. I got hung up on attunement stuff, trying to work around attunement because you can only attune to 3 things. So trying to find 3 things, like what am I really going to get out of this attunement that's really going to help me? And then what can I fill in with junk? Not junk, but fill in the gaps with other things.
Yeah, I apologize for that. I forgot to
No.
remind you guys that we don't worry about attunement anymore.
Yeah.
Oh,
But how it affects the
I'm gonna have
D&D
10
Beyond
rings
though.
on my fingers.
Exactly.
Thanos here with like a ring on each finger. But the issue with that though is like D&D Beyond won't accept, and you have to keep clicking back and forth to attunement and non-attunement to get like for it to show the effects.
Correct.
Of the
That's
thing,
why
yeah.
whenever I do my custom weapons and items, I never put attunement in them. That way they, go away. I really hope someday D&D Beyond allows us to ignore attunement, like have a setting on the character sheet that says ignore attunement, because once again, I think it's another antiquated method of restricting build that makes no sense.
I like if you had like an artifact kind of thing that you wanted to, you could attune to like one thing.
But usually like a powerful artifact has already got so many restrictions on its use, like its actual use. Yeah. It's already detrimental or dangerous to use it anyways. So it's like people just get kind of carried away.
Well, I have this fun tentacle whip for an arm now, so.
Ooh.
There's a place called Rockhaven in the middle of Anorak, or in the middle of the Ramadan Desert. I got to switch worlds out of Faerun and into Exandria. In the middle of the Ramadan Desert wanders a great sauropod, a creature that on its back sits the lively community of Rockhaven. Tethered to the sauropod's neck, a long chain and rope up to an airship, almost an air balloon, the way it sits above as the pilot station to this massive beast that wanders the desert. Sitting inside the pilot's airship in the great round rattan kind of hole that hangs underneath this balloon sits Puck, a gnome, a female gnome that has traveled all ends of Exandria to look for her friend Xanath. With the closing of the era of divinity, with the final death of lewdness, and now the absence of gods, a new era is beginning to form in Exandria. What this new era means and what it's capable of, unsure. But the gods now once again walk among us in order to avoid the nefarious evils and possible outcome of Predathos. A wayward team of explorers and adventurers convinced most of the gods play it safe and walk Exandria and experience Exandria once again. Leave divinity behind and choose to live. Puck has done everything she can to gather this information because there's one particular piece of information that has been very important to her. She has heard of a druid that goes by the name of Keyleth. And this druid's companion, Vax. She's unsure. In her drunken stupor, she mumbles both words, wondering if both matter. But rumor has it, Keyleth and Vax are back together again. Vax, a champion of the Raven Queen, said to have been sent to be at her side forever. But now he's back on Exandria, back with his companion, Keyleth. And this, over many drunken and gambling nights, has caused Puck great consternation. Why did it work for them, and how can it work for her? She sits with her legs up on a table, brandishing a map. Notes piled up on a desk. The three of you sit there in the pilot's chamber, feeling the sway of the airship and the smell of sweat and alcohol permeating this chamber. She looks at the three of you. Well, I just want to say that it's unfair, but I've figured it out. I know how they did it. You see, it's all about sacrifice and timing. I don't care what that fucking bard says, and I don't care what that fucking tabaxi says. You know, it's always about adventure and finding the things that make things happen. It's about timing, I tell you. And what happened with Keyleth and Vax was about the timing and the need and the notion of what took place at that point in time. And all I got to do is figure out how to put all the pieces in the right place to make this happen for me and my friend, my best friend Xanath. She did not deserve to be taken from Exandria. And I want her back. If anything more than just to keep me out of drunken brawls, but I do miss conversations with her. And I want her back badly. I cannot promise you wealth. I cannot promise you anything that you haven't already gotten under your own possession. Your powers already tell me that the three of you are more than capable to do this. I have a map of an island out in the middle of the Shattered Isles that will guide you there. I have a notion that there is something on that island that is going to tell us exactly where we need to be at a particular point in time. Now, I've gathered up others, friends, people that we know that are doing the same thing at different places throughout Exandria. For you, the three of you, I give you one of the more important ones. The moons are going to align soon. And when they do, they're going to create what's called an ethereal brace, a thinning of the ethereal plane. We believe on that ruined island, on that map that I've given you, is a place that you need to get to. You need to figure out what it means from that position and what it means when those moons come to full rise, aligning with each other, and the ethereal plane thins and its veil is revealed. My companions believe that a fractured remain of Strahd's castle is on this ruined island. This island is unnamed. It's one of many hundreds and thousands that exist amongst the main islands of the Shattered Isle. It's the most I can do for you. I can't give you much more than that. I recognize it's going to be dangerous. You will have the gratitude of Puck, the sanctuary of Rockhaven whenever you need it, and the assistance of good friends. Because at this point in time, all I can ask is for your help to do this. I can't offer you anything more than that. I mean, look at you. She looks over at Giant Spain. Giant Spain, describe yourself. What do you look like as she stares at you?
Incredibly awkward right now because he's the gnome and I'm a Goliath. And this is a quarters not meant for someone of my height. So I'm like hunched over in the room, but he's got this weird like black tentacle tattoo up his right arm. He's like very gray skin, tattoos all over him, but this tentacle tattoo up his right arm that you would swear every once in a while you can see it kind of pulse, like bulge, like it rolls around like it's flexing around his arm,
like it's under the skin.
Yeah, like it's just bubbling, like it's trying to come off of his skin, kind of thing. Yeah. He's got his shield on his back, but very tall, wears black armor with red highlights. Very menacing, intimidating, lots of piercings on his face, but he's the last of his tribe, hence the name. He swore his pact to get vengeance on the giants that murdered his tribe. He's yet to track them down, so that's kind of why he's out taking whatever tasks are out there, because anything can get him a little more information, a little step closer. He's become so powerful where he is. but he doesn't know where he's going from here.
She then switches and looks over at Jophus. Jophus, describe what you look like and what you do.
That's Detective Jophus, the Bloodling. I'm about a 6.5 foot tall half orc, and as a child, I was bullied a lot. Mainly for the large appearance of my mother, which many would often call her a cow. And I've made it my vengeance to milk the blood out of anyone that takes advantage of those underfoot. And while I've traveled as a detective.
Alexa's giggling is just epic. I love it. She's so proud. She's so proud of you. I love it.
How many times today she had to be like, no, don't do that. No. I'm kidding. She did not do that. But I'm of greenish skin, fairly tall, very muscular. I carry a dagger with me at all times, tipped with venom when I please. And I wear an awkward pork pie hat to try to take on the essence of a true detective. But I've had my problems and gotten kicked out of many departments for maybe not doing things that were ethical. Were they wrong? I don't think so.
She switches from you over to Winfred. Winfred, describe yourself.
My name is Winifred. Insert old lady voice.
Oh, you
Winifred.
An old halfling?
Oh yeah, Winifred is looks like a super cute old tiny woman. She's like 400 years old. She's a druid. She has like gray hair and like a mossy green hat. She has a little green salamander that's always like on her shoulder. She's got like a million little potion bottles on a, sort of around her waist. And she just has like a sweet, like cherubic little old lady face.
I love it.
She's been part of a council of witches, sort of maintaining the balance of nature around Exandria. And I think maybe she was here to check on the sauropod. But happy to help out.
I'll try not to step on you.
As you guys sit around the table, you're amazed at the copious amounts of drinking that Puck does. And the constant telling of a story that goes way back. A story that begins in Nicodranus, a journey by boat that sees a massive tempest off in the horizon, eventually a massive ancient turtle dragon with a huge city that lives on its back called Haven. Eventually, the discovery of an island called Gnomeworks, the aiding of some dragonborn and lizard folk that were forever cursed to guard a gate to prevent the betrayer god from leaving it, to the eventual discovery of the great ethereal highway and the great tempest planets guided by a major deity of some sort, people traversing it on a regular basis, even to the point of the release of an ancient creature as well as a fire titan. Team making friends of the Voik in the Shattered Isles, discovering what it means to have godlike powers, discovering what it means to be faced against powers that were trying to undo the traditions of an entire eon's worth of time. And although those traditions were undone, they weren't undone with catastrophic outcome that was a bigger concern. Paladin stepped into the Well of Souls with a god and helped the ending of an era. gods walking the face of Exandria are said to be both myth and legend, and possibly true if you believe the stories from Vasselheim after the death of Ludinus and the return of Bel's Hells from the moon. But an old era has closed. And as Puck tells this story all night long until she is quietly sitting in her chair, passed out drunk, snoring, leaving the three of you to stare at her with a bit of a whimsical smile. There's a cough behind you, a subtle cough. You turn to see a very unique looking individual. They have long brown hair, olive skin, piercing bronze eyes, a smile and an ageless look about them. The figure bows. I know that she can be time-consuming in her efforts, but I assure you, your patience will be rewarded. I am Jamansa Ort, and I am here to give you a ride to the island. Come with me.
Oh. Okay.
Takes Winifred several minutes to get out of her chair. Just old bones.
Rocking back and forth.
Yeah. Eventually, I'm like, one of you boys help me.
You know, you probably are like hand-sized. I could probably just carry you if that, you know.
In fact, you guys have been together so long that Winifred has a little cuff harness on the shoulder strappings of her tunic, so
like a baby.
Yeah,
like
just carry me
the
around.
baby like the baby carrier. I just slip her in the baby
I
carrier.
don't know about a baby carrier. More,
She's like,
more convenient, probably like a 6-pack
This big-
holder.
this big giant goth Goliath with an old little halfling
Just tiny,
lady
cute little
strapped to
lady.
his chest.
Master Blaster.
This is
can
my
you guys-
secret.
Can you guys at the break type in your character descriptions in Discord and I'll make a ChatGPT image of that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that'd be epic. There is, as the three of you come out of the airship's cabin, and you stand on just like this, like small 15-20 foot wide, 8 feet deep planked porch. It's just a simple wooden platform that hangs over the edge of the airship, and it's an amazing view from up here because you could see the village down below, the tail end of the sauropod. You can see the great huge neck and head swaying back and forth below you. You watch as this person named Jamansa Ord leaps off the railing and turns into a massive bronze dragon, unfurling their form, huge long wings, and begins to circle and then hover alongside the platform, allowing each of you to take a moment to walk across the wings that are like metallic floors, membranes that look as tough as steel, a huge arching back of scales, the kind of supple long spine of mane and backbone, a huge neck arced out, and these piercing familiar eyes, and a smile on its face as you crawl onto the back of Jamansa Ord in their dragon form, and you feel the wind press against you. The journey is many days, with many stopovers. You're seeing parts of the world that, seen from this viewpoint, lead to the idea of just how magnificently huge this planet, this world, really is. And you crawl across the Lucidian Sea. You can see coastlines of Taldori. Eventually, you see coastlines of strange islands, the familiar rock outline of a place called Darktoe down below. Every now and then, you can see great fleets of ships moving across the great Lucidian Sea. And this world is big. There is a feeling of importance here. There is a vastness to this. This moment in time, as you look up into the sky, you can see the moons have been visible during the entirety of the journey. Rudius and Kathia, both ebbing and falling, but as they rise and fall, rise and fall, rise and fall, ever getting closer to each other, the alignment getting ever closer. Until last you see on the horizon the remains of the Shattered Isles. Great tropical islands that are large and small, broken apart, scattered amongst the greater part of the Lucidian Sea. By far the most interesting island is a standalone island with a facade, a great physical profile of a elven female wearing a helm, her hand stretching up into the heavens with a blade in the hand, and her other hand outstretched as if to welcome those that would want to come to this island. You can even see the pilgrims on the ships down below as Jamansa Ord kind of gives it a cursory glance around it. And you can see ships from all over Exandria down below. From Wildmont, from Taldori, from Vasselheim, from Marquette. Everywhere the world has heard of those, either familiar or unfamiliar, with the sacrifices they made to close out the old era and begin the new era, and secure that new era for opportunity's sake. They are all down there, muttering under their breaths, wondering who this Xanath was. Who are these other people involved? Who are all these heroes and people who saw it was very important to allow change to happen, but allow it to happen in such a way that it didn't create catastrophe? Sacrifice is all the same. These thoughts on your minds as finally evening sets in. The familiar hurricane winds of the outer areas of the Shattered Islands begins to kick up a bit. And down below, you can see an island. The ruined wreck of an old structure in its middle. Not very big. In fact, the island itself looks to be mostly old structure with a mix of impact from when it fell into the sea. Perhaps Puck was right. Perhaps her friends were right. Maybe this is a shattered remain of Strahd's castle, the once infamous attempt at combining the Shadowfell and the Fae and bringing about destruction of the material plane. It's hard to know. You guys feel Jamansa Ord's form lower down until you hear the soft pads of their feet on the beaches. She lets you off her back and then onto the sand. They turn their head towards you, smile. I will not be far. I go back to the sanctuary to aid those who wish to visit the island. Call for my name when you're ready. You watch as the great dragon opens up, takes in a big breath of air, and leaps up into the sky. You feel the heavy winds buffer down towards you as it leaps up into the sky. You watch as it disappears. The sun is now set. It's nighttime. In front of you, a ruined canopy of jungle and ruined buildings sitting up high amongst some rocks and reefs. The remains of an old pier, an old tender on the beach. This place feels like it's been visited before over many, many different episodic years. People have been here. You can see physical remains of people being here. Shipwrecks off in the bay around this island. It's early evening. The moons are in the process of aligning. What would you guys like to do next?
You think we should try to talk to any of these dead guys?
If you have a way to do that, that's fine, but I'm much more interested in the wisdom of nature. Dead things are dead.
Dead things can still talk, though. Like, I'll go to the most whole-looking, at least face, head, and I'll cast Speak with Dead. Hooray! At will speak with dead. Yeah.
Ooh.
You give me investigation or perception as you look around.
Probably perception.
Okay.
Just gonna, yeah, well, I guess investigation's the same for me. Oh gosh. Okay, well, 10. I have a +7 to both of those, and it was
Yeah. I mean, the one thing that you notice about the remains of the people on the beach and on the island that you can see is that they're in various degrees of decay, from like old skeletal bodies to maybe skeletal forms within the last year or so. But they show signs of being crushed, bones pulverized. It takes you a while until you actually find an intact enough skull to kind of offer up an opportunity of Speak with Dead. They are wearing the tattered remains of a sailor. You can tell the knee-high pants with the kind of cut-off cuffs of the pants, old shriveled up boots that are kind of like torn apart and decayed. You can see their bony toes and feet sticking through the boots. An old leather sash across their chest, the tattered remains of some kind of chaussier or linen attire that maybe they were wearing. But this is one of the few that you found where the skull's intact, although the chest cavity and the lower legs look to be severely crushed, pulverized into many larger pieces. Here the skull sits ready for you. You pick up the skull. You invoke the Speak with Dead. You watch as the jaw begins to grind. Its eyes begin to show the luminescent take of the spell. And you hear a voice kind of admonish disturbance. What do you want? Why do you wake me?
Sorry, friend. What killed you?
A beast of the sea. My companions and our captain sought treasure here. Treasure that we were sure to be here. Somewhere up in the ruin, we began our climb. And then a beast from the water, hundreds of feet tall, descended on us. And then that is all that was left. I know not what it was, but it killed us all.
How long ago was that?
I know not time. I know not the length of time. I am an empty vessel, a soul. I have no idea of time.
What year was it that you were making this trip?
He responds 5 years ago would be the timeline that he'd give to you.
Who was your crew and captain?
That's 2 questions.
Who was your captain?
Captain Manx was our captain.
Who sent you after the treasure?
The captain had heard from someone. He did not tell us who he heard it from, but it was said that opportunity and treasure were here. It's all the captain's idea, all the captain's fault. Everything sets in the lap of the captain. The jaw goes slack. The magic drains.
Well, that doesn't sound great. Big giant beast out of the sea, hundreds of feet tall. And looking at the body here, I'm used to stepping on stuff, not getting stepped on.
Can I make a nature or animal handling check to try and figure out what that creature might be?
You give me either nature or medicine.
Okay. Can I add a D4 because I'm standing next to... Oh, wait, I have guidance, so I'll add a D4 because I'm standing next to me. Okay, that's a 9 plus 6 is 15 plus a D4 would be 18. Is that right? 15? No, 17.
17? These bodies have been crushed by massive tentacles.
Am I thinking like a kraken?
Possibly.
He's being such a pill tonight. It's really crazy.
This time it's your goblins want to join the game tonight.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it seems like something with really huge tentacles. I think we should be wary of this. I've never had a particular way with tentacled creatures.
I kind of flare my tentacle arm like
except for you.
I'm wondering if there's any sort of manuscripts, ship logs, anything we can see through this rubble that could give us a little bit more information what happened to these poor bastards.
I mean, the guy said the thing crushed him. The sea beast crushed him.
Maybe the captain's ship logs had some sort of more information on what exactly they were looking for, just beyond vague treasure.
Do we see any documentation lying around?
Should I do like a perception check?
Yeah, give me perception. Everyone can give me perception as you glance around the beach area to see if there's something that might offer up some more info.
With the D4.
Yep, D4.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, I got a nat 20 and I got a 4 on my guidance. Is 24 plus 11 is a 35.
Nice, maxed out. You maxed out a roll.
Yeah,
and it wasn't combat.
Winnie is rolling hot.
I rolled a 1 and a 1.
So no!
That's 9.
I got a dirty 20.
That's not bad, detective. Winfred and Jophis, you both notice a keel of a ship that's half submerged in water and sand. And it's the most recent, although it seems like been there for quite a while, but it's the only survivable shipwreck that you could immediately see. And as the three of you kind of approach it, the keel end of the cabin is still somewhat intact, almost as if the sand and rock prevented the water from drawing it back out. On the side of the keel, it says the Trident on the side of it. Seems to be the vessel's name. The interior of the vessel is showing signs of collapse and ruin, but there's a lot of old rotted crates, rusted iron boxes, almost as if the above decking had all collapsed in on itself over the years. Everyone give me investigation as you start pouring through the debris to see if you could find anything.
Oh, that's way better.
That's an 18 for me.
Okay.
24.
Okay.
Nice.
26.
Nice.
Okay, detective.
Nice. These new dice, babe. got
nice.
Okay, I'm gonna meme that. These new dice, babe. There is a footlocker. All three of you see it at the same time. It's rusted metal jutting up through the debris. And on the side of the footlocker, it says Captain Manx. You can see an old rusted lock, heavy padlock on it. You can see black lacquered kind of tar and sealant on it that may have kept it bone dry on the inside.
Mr. Bane, you're a strong man. You're a big man. Care to take care of that lock?
I am just big. I am not particularly strong. But
leave it to Kurt. I love it when Kurt builds characters because they always do it a certain way. But they never beguile their ability checks. Like
no,
never,
you gotta take. You gotta take them as they come, right? So I had 2 12s, so I had to throw them somewhere, and it was strength and intelligence. But I would think that
Winifred is strong.
I guys, I got a 10 strength, so
you're still the strongest, Bane.
It's let's see. I was trying to see if I had something I could use for that, but I don't think I have anything particular. Yeah, I'll take a shot at it with. I'll try and pick the lock on it first.
Yeah, give me sleight of hand.
Okay. Oh God, 11. I'm within guidance range though, right? 14.
Oh yeah, 14. It's corroded. It's rusted. There's nothing to even try to pick. It looks like the only way to get the lock off would be to break it off.
Okay, so like I'm fighting with it for a second. And I'm like, you know what? And I just fire a Eldritch Blast at it.
Yeah.
It just shatters, like the lock shatters, and then like a hole, like a melted hole of the steel footlocker kind of melts in and jagged, like jagged edges of it. And then you watch as a bunch of stuff just kind of spills out of the front of the footlocker. Probably the most important thing you watch is a journal. A captain's log of Captain Manx tumbles out onto the ground.
Perhaps this book is of use. I'll start thumbing through it.
Most of the entries are port of calls. It looks like his ship, the USS Trident, or the SS Trident. Oh, I put the U in there. Of course I have it. Right? The SS Trident had left Port Diwali, traveled for 6 months up and down the Wildmont coast, eventually sailed to Iman, and then eventually sailed down to the northern reaches of Marquette, and then found its way out into the Shattered Isles. Crew came and went. It was appear that the captain was looking for information about a device that he originally thought was called an astral lab, a device that could predict seasons, that could predict the coming of epochs and the coming of threats, and the idea of predicting when chaos or things might happen. But instead, he's collected information about a device called a telescope. And the information that he's gathered up about it so far is that it appears that this device, given the right invocation, given the right use of it as a platform, and incurring the consumption of familiar items and familiar information, this device can point and locate exactly what you are looking for. It's said to be in the hallowed halls of Strahd's castle, and Strahd's castle was lost during the battle of the Shadowfell and the Fae, nearly colliding and destroying the material plane. His evidence, his information that he's gathered, has led him to believe that this fractured island, this small shattered remnant of Strahd's castle, may actually contain this device inside its ruined form. And his final entry is the arrival date, the gathering of his crew, and setting off to find the item. And no other entries.
I'd do a history check to see if I would have any sort of idea where Strahd's castle would be, if it would be here, if there would be any indicators of anything.
Give me
these stories.
Yeah, give me.
But
history check.
we know that this is a chunk of it, right?
Puck believes it to be. That's why she gave you the map to the island. Yeah.
Yeah. Like any indication of what it may look like and where exactly it would be here. That is 17.
Looking up at the ruins that you could see that kind of go 200, 300 feet up into the sand rock and the old reefs that have like kind of just died over, the reefs that have died over a period of time. The ruin that you can see does not match the natural environment of this island. It's wholly unique. This fragment of whatever this structure is shouldn't be here. This makes you feel like it confirms the information on the map. You get the feeling that you're standing in the presence of a fractured remain of Strahd's castle.
Well, it sounds like we're in the right place. We just need to go quick and quietly. As I'm like strapping myself back into the little seat.
The little 6-pack carrier.
You know, I do have. I am wearing half plate, but I have these fancy shoes that make me really quiet when I move. So
I do as well.
Kind of helps cancel me out here.
Are yours boots of Elvenkind?
Yes.
Yes, wonderful.
They're really tight. Elves have tiny feet. This sucks.
You two like giant dudes in your tiny little shoes.
Well, it's the Grinch feet, you know. His shoes are like 3 sizes too small, kind of thing. That's why I'm always angry.
I'll as we're heading up, if we're ready to go, I'll cast Pass Without Trace as well, so that we're super, super sneaky.
Everybody give me stealth checks. Got a +10.
Oh, I'll take that.
Ooh, didn't do too good on that one.
That's 28.
Nice.
14 plus 14.
Did you add another 10 for Pass
That's what I
Without
mean. The
Trace?
14, the 10 of the 14 was
Oh, plus the guidance.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Oh, I didn't add guidance too. I have a +4 to stealth already. So
14.
I'll make that a 31.
3, 17. I got a 27.
I got a 19.
With the +10 and the guidance?
Yeah.
Okay.
I rolled a 6. I rolled a 6 and I have a +2 and then got a 1 on my B4.
But then you have another. Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look, I can. Darkness is my friend. I can see pretty well. Okay. I have true sight for 30 feet plus dark vision, 120 feet clear vision upon that. So,
what'd you get, Winfred, for your
27.
27.
With guidance, it was a 31 for me.
If it really calls for it, I do have a cloak of invisibility too.
19 is pretty good. I mean,
yeah, that's what I figured. I don't want to use it quite yet. Yeah, so let's stay where it is.
You guys find a path, and there's many different paths. They all seem to lead the same place, around the kind of remains of the reef and rock and the natural kind of landscape of this island. And every now and then you come across a fractured bit of stone that is obsidian black and shows no sign of wear or aging, almost as if it was damaged in the impact, and that's the only damage it ever incurred. Things do not grow on it. Wherever the ruin meets the organic nature of the island, it simply stops. Nothing grows, nothing manages to cling on to this stone, this strange out of place rock. And while you always get the feeling that something is watching you during your journey up the cliff and up towards the heights of the ruin, you never catch a glance of anything. There's no sense that this is something that you can see that is real, just the sense of maybe an old memory lingering on this place. You traverse the paths, the rock, you get up onto the plateau, and before long, you pull yourself up into the interior of this old ruin. You stand on its perimeter, looking around. And the only object you see on a round stone platform, you could see a 25-foot long by 8-foot high device. It seems to match the description in Captain Manx's journal. A massive telescope device. It seems to be pointing in an upward arc, no particular direction. You could see engravings and like mechanical devices attached to it. It's rusted, but the rust is more of a patina than an idea of damage being done to it. You can see that the rock that it sits on is the rock of the fragmented remains of Strahd's castle. And it just sits there, plain sight, pointing up into the night sky.
I would like to cast Find Traps to sense a trap within range. The range is 120 feet.
There are numerous sigils, wards, and other unfamiliar invocations on the device itself. There are threshold wards around the perimeter of the device. The one thing you find interesting is that there is no sense of anyone else being up here ever. There are no other signs of footprints, no other signs of remains, no signs that anyone has ever been here, at least within the last few years.
All right, boys. Step carefully with your little elf shoes. There are some runes around. I'm not sure what they mean. I don't think anyone's ever been up here before.
Are you able to point a clear path of how we can avoid these ruins, or do you just kind of have a general feeling of where they might be?
Yeah, I mean, do I get a sense from the runes that these are like dangerous runes or just runes and I don't recognize them, or what?
They're invocation runes, they're protective runes, they're warding runes. These are things to prevent and to make sure whoever uses this device, first of all, has the ability to use it, someone of arcane talent, someone who is talented enough to be wary of the traps, keep those away that may have ill use of the device. And these are old protections. And like a lot of the languages of these devices seem to be in a language that you're unfamiliar with.
Is there like a lever or a button or a switch or something anywhere on the device?
There is a wrought iron seat at the base of the telescope. You can see 3 levers alongside the seat. It looks like the metal stanchion that it's attached to is telescopic. It may lower or raise the device. You could see a small viewfinder, something like almost like a, what you'd use on a ship, a total brain meltdown. I can't remember what they're called.
Like the lens, like you're looking at like a telescope. Yeah,
not a telescope or periscope. Yeah, what are those freaking things called again?
Eyeglass?
Spyglass. So like the
yeah,
viewfinder of a spyglass is slightly off center of the base of the larger telescopic kind of device pointed up. And the telescopic device itself is a good 3-4 feet around as well. So it appears that you sit in the chair and you configure the levers, and that one lever maybe spins it around, one raises it and lowers it, and the other one maybe causes its magical invocations to work. It's hard to know without getting closer.
I'll describe to them the runes that I'm seeing.
Well, let me try this real quick, and I'll if you point out one of the runes, I'll take a mage hand and just kind of smack the rune.
Nice.
While we're at distance, I'll smack the rune with the mage hand to see if it does anything.
Okay.
You watch as the mage hand goes over, it places itself on the rune, and when it hits it, there's a wall of lightning that circles the entire base, and it crackles 12 feet tall, and it remains there for up to a minute. And then you smell the ozone, like that smell of electricity and ozone in the air as it fades. And you can see that the rune is slowly regenerating. You get the feeling it'll reset in 5 minutes.
Oh.
Okay, so let's get to that rune.
This
and
could be
go,
time to get through. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm gonna where's the next rune? Show me, point out the next one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like you pass over the first one, which takes you to the second one, which is like 15 feet closer. You do the same thing. It's challenging because you realize you're on a time crunch.
Right.
In this next case, you watch as these translucent force blades, almost like scythes, kind of materialize in this huge cloud around the base, forcing you guys to wait a good 15 seconds for it to collapse. But then once again, you can see that it's in the process of resetting. You do it again. The next one is a wall of fire that you have to wait a little further back. It collapses after about a minute. You get closer. And then finally, the final ward of protection is simply this this almost kind of like pulse of energy that had you touched it, maybe something would happen to you. You're not entirely sure. You guys are now standing at the base of the telescope, nearest, like within a few feet of it, as you have passed through all the protective wards and runes.
Any one of those could have killed us, I'm pretty sure, right?
That's certainly the vibe that I got.
Gotta say, Giantsbane, that's some quality thinking on your part. Well done.
I don't like to die. My soul is still held by something out there.
Death is gonna pass on us one way or another. But at least
I'll go down fighting. I'll go down swinging. Anyway, this device here
seems like kind of an arcane magic instrument. Jophus, is that your?
Well, yeah. Can I use my grim psychometry, which, when I make a history check to recall information about the sinister or tragic history of an object, I have an advantage on it. So essentially, a history check advantage.
Okay. Grim psychometry. Such an interesting ability.
25.
25. As you focus on this device, it's 25-foot length. It's massive construction. It's being built. There is an old story to this device. You feel it in your bones. Something very ancient, something very old was using this device to find things, to locate things. You can see the engravings on the outer encasement of the device. Whoever this Strahd person was and whatever this Strahd castle was is irrelevant to this device. This device feels older than the ruins that you stand in. Somebody built it with the intent of being able to find important things. A lifetime's effort is here. Get the feeling whoever was the previous owner of this castle probably stole it or took possession of it and then started using it for themselves.
Are we able to decipher any of these ruins and languages that are on there?
Give me either investigation or insight, your choice.
I'll do investigation.
Don't forget you got that extra D4.
Yep. That is.
I'll try an Arcana check just to kind of get the magic vibes of it as well.
Yeah, give me an Arcana
18
check.
on my check.
18 on investigation or insight?
Yep, investigation.
Okay.
That's a 30 for Arcana.
Okay. Anything you want to try, Winfred?
Sure, I'll do an insight on it.
Does
Okay.
it look natural?
My insight is this appears to be made of metal. All right, that's an 18 insight.
Okay. From a perspective of magic, it is clearly a device of magic. You can now see that the levers and the inscriptions and engravings near the levers seem to indicate that pointing and activating the device begins some kind of ceremony. You could see that the writings and markings on the outer casing of the device are designed to maintain its magical force. Whatever's inside this device that derives its magic from is heavily protected by the creation of these engravings and items on it. There's a feeling there's a small tray near the levers that looks like it pulls open and closes, and it looks like you put something in that tray, and then you pull the lever that activates the beginnings of the device itself. It would appear from an arcana perspective, an arcane perspective, you simply put in an item or a familiar token, or even something that would be used for planing your shift, a tuning fork, a something for the device to tune to, and then you pull the lever to start the activation of the device. You then invoke the ritual of a 25-word commitment of information to allow the device to point towards what you're looking for. The levers then automatically are manipulated to begin that process of ceremony, and it would appear it's supposed to reveal that location to you.
Someday somebody's going to have keys, and this is going to be the best way to find them.
So what was it?
That's some serious fourth wall dad joke.
Hey, I didn't say car keys.
So what was it that Puck wanted us to do? Did she want us to look for her friend?
I think she was expecting you to locate this device and prove that the device exists.
Oh, mission
and
accomplished.
that it actually functions. I think her involvement with Giantsbane, because Giantsbane is looking for something that might be able to prove that this device works.
I'll reach into my armor and pull out this like tattered piece of cloth, and set it in the device. I've had it tucked into my armor all this time. It's a piece of cloth that was left over. Like, I was not in the village or in my tribe when they were attacked. I came back to the devastation, but there was a piece of cloth clutched in the hands of one of my tribe members. So I've always assumed that it was something related to the giants that attacked us. So I'll put the piece of cloth inside the device and run down the chair so it's like eye level is eye level instead of where it was set, because I'm a little tall. And we'll try and start up the device.
As you open the tray, placing the cloth inside the tray, and then closing the tray, you pull the first lever and you start reading the 25-word inscription above that lever. You guys watch as the great device begins to get this coalescent kind of energy that starts to wrap around it. And as it wraps around, you watch as the device begins to angle, move, magic begins to course along its surface. There's a flash of energy in the tray, like something is consumed. You then watch as Giantsbane pulls the second lever and begins the 25-word description of what he would like to try to locate.
Giants who were in the Grey Wastes set upon the Goliath tribe 20 years ago now. Where are they?
There's a whirring sound as gears crank and metal that's been rusted for far too long begins to break apart. The telescopic nature of the device begins to coil outward. You watch as it raises itself up at a different angle. It points in a direction. And when it finishes pointing in that direction, there's a flare of magic in the viewport of the small spyglass part that you can look into.
I look through the viewport.
As you look through the viewport, north of the Grey Wastes lies a great row of mountains. At the top of those mountains, an ancient fortress-like structure. As you view the fortress structure standing on a parapet, glowering down at the many frost giants that busy about the work within the fortress, you see a cloud giant. Their form perfect, the great staff of their leadership in their hand, and at their belt, a great kind of collection of trophies. Hanging off that belt, a familiar preserved head of one of your tribesfolk. You then watch as you hear a whirring sound, the device settles back down, and then suddenly a blast of a foghorn. This great, reverberating, massive blast of a thaumaturgy noise of a foghorn just bellowing out from the device. You watch as great waves begin to pulse up as you're watching massive tentacles begin to rise out of the waves. You watch as a 50-story creature begins to pulse up out of the water as well. I need everyone to roll for initiative, please.
All right.
Just keep me at the bottom.
Just keep you at the bottom. It's that bad, huh?
Oh, I rolled even worse than you.
Oh, look at that.
First with
Oh,
the
check it
13.
out.
1 second. 1 second.
You
Wow,
guys
the
want to see
13
something really scary? They did an update to Tailspire. Watch this.
Underwater?
This is real scary.
No.
You can really make things look large now. It's
Oh
pretty
my
epic.
god, that's so cool.
It's walking away.
The
course,
scale is so fun with the giant creature.
Isn't
Yes.
it? Of course, you can always fight it in the dark.
Oh, I can see it just fine.
Well, yeah, I know, but no one else can, which is why we're going to fight in the daylight. Oh, by the way, your figure downloaded.
Yay!
Ooh, excellent.
That fun blaster there.
All right, so just waiting to find out. Oh my god, look at
13,
these
yeah.
initiative rolls.
Terrible.
Not great.
They're
And a
terrible.
Oh my god, the creature gets to go first. This is going to be
Oh, no.
fun. Each tentacle has a 100-foot reach.
Oh,
What?
And the creature gets 3 attacks per action.
come on.
All right. So its first action point, it's going to strike out at Giant's Bane because he used the device. He has advantage on all of his attacks. So is anybody wearing or have any reason to give disadvantage?
Cloak of displacement.
Cloak of displacement. Okay.
So that means disadvantage on rolls against me.
So he has advantage, so there'll be regular rolls. There are 3 tentacle strikes coming at you, Giant's Bane.
Yep.
So basically, it's a plus 15 to hit.
What?
So the first roll is a 16.
Yep.
The next roll is a 24.
Yep.
And then the next roll is a 30.
Oh, sorry, you did the full max. So 2 hits. Sorry, I thought you were saying you rolled 16. Yeah, no, 16 doesn't hit.
Okay.
24 and 30 hit.
Okay. What's your armor class?
24.
So only 1d4 extra.
Yeah,
of
only
damage.
1d4 on the last one. Yeah.
Where are my d12s? There they are. That's going.
Hooray! Orange half plate.
Yeah, right.
It was a +3 half plate. Doesn't require attunement. Yeah.
So 15, 17 plus 20. That's 37 points of bludgeoning damage on the first attack.
Yeah.
Then going to spend an action point to strike out at Jophis. So 3 attacks coming at you, Jophis. Do you incur any disadvantage towards attacks on you by chance?
No.
Okay, so these will be at advantage. Let's get the... All right. Wow. That's really shitty. 18, 22, and a 31, 33.
Yeah, so my AC is 18, so that would be
2 hit?
3 hits.
3 hit if it's.
You said AC is 18.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
AC is 18.
Yeah. Ouch. Actually 4, so that's 3, 15, 20, 26, plus 30. 56 points of bludgeoning damage.
Jeez Louise.
You're right there.
Third AP, Winfred. You have 3 attacks coming towards you.
All right.
You cause disadvantage in any way.
No.
Okay. First one. Oh, yeah. Actually, you do cause this. You are small.
Oh.
So yes, your small helps you.
Oh, excellent.
So these will be 3 regular attacks.
Love it.
That is going to be an 18, a 27, and a 21.
All right, 2 hits.
Okay. That is going to be 18, 22 plus 20, 42 points of bludgeoning damage.
All right.
And for its 4th AP, it's going to use telepathic presence. I need everyone to make wisdom saves, please.
Is this a spell?
This is an effect.
Is this an effect? Okay. A wisdom
I got
save.
I got a natural 1, so that's a 2.
Nice.
Oof. I got a 23. Oh.
3. That'll save.
23.
I too rolled a nat 1 for an 8.
Do we apply the same rule to resistance that we? Well, never mind. I don't have it. I guess I'm curious, but for now it doesn't matter.
Well, yeah. If you ever have a resistance to an effect, like if it's a psychic-based effect, you would have advantage on that roll.
If you have the cantrip resistance, which adds a +4 to saving throws, would you apply the
Only
same
if you can
aura
use it as a
guidance?
reaction. Only if you could use it as a reaction. If during the round of combat you wanted to react with something, it had to say reaction on it. But if during your turn you wanted to cast resistance on yourself, that would afford you advantage from that effect.
Okay.
So with that in mind, Jophis, you are now limited to 1 action. Giant's Bane, you are limited to 1 action. As this heavy, ancient psychic presence weighs down on your minds, causing you to become not quite incapacitated, but very much like Mind Sliver, or Psychic Lance, where you're limited to basically 1 action, until the beginning of the creature's next turn. Winfred, you saved, so you're good. That'll finish the creature's turn. The Kraken is done. Detective Jophis, you are up with Giant's Bane on deck.
So how far is the head of the monster from us?
It would be about, well, you know what? Let's get precise. So from your vantage point here, all the way out. It is, we'll say it is 170 feet.
Oh, really? Jeez.
But you can target tentacles. They are closer because they've been attacking you guys.
Yeah.
So I'll say the tentacles are all within 60 feet of you.
Okay. And I assume like starting to like as an action, activating, my blood curse. That is my one action, then, correct?
Correct.
All right. So I'm just going to straight up try to crossbow the tentacle nearest to me.
Okay, go for it.
Since that's the only action I have.
How many attacks do you get?
2.
Go for it.
All right, so I got a nat 20 on my first roll for a 30.
Nice, max crit, baby. Good
Nice.
So I'm just rolling double damage, correct?
So you automatically max out your damage roll,
And then you roll on top of it.
and then you roll on top of it, and then you add your damage modifier.
Okay. So that's 1d6 plus 4, so that's 10, and then I roll again, correct?
Yeah, so it's actually you get a 6, and then now roll a d6.
All right, 5.
So that's 11 plus 4 is 15.
15.
Yep.
Okay.
Any other bonuses on top of that attack?
Did you just shoot at the Kraken with a regular crossbow? I mean, that's pretty boss.
Yeah.
+1.
Well, that's just your first attack. You go ahead and take your second attack now if you don't have any other bonuses.
Yeah, I don't have any other bonus. That's another nat 20. I'm not kidding. God bless these. Nice, Alexa.
Roll a d6.
You actually look at the die. And
Another
it's just
5, so...
That's another 15 points of damage.
Okay. And I think since that's the only action I get, that's it.
Yeah. It's the 2 crossbow bolts just go right into the tentacle, deep into its flesh. The tentacle actually staggers back from it slightly from the effect. That'll finish your turn. Giant Bane, you are up with Winfred on deck.
Yep, I was going to do a lot more fun stuff on this round, but being
I wanted
limited
to
in what
too.
I can do, being limited in what I can do, I'm going to use my Eldritch Blast, but I took the epic boon that lets me move 20 feet or 30 feet when I use an attack action or a magic action.
Perfect.
So I'll fire off an Eldritch Blast at each of the 4 tentacles, at 4 of the tentacles, let me say.
Okay. I'll say this
And
much. The one that Jophis focused on is looking damage. So there is
I'll just focus them all
more,
4 on that one then, yeah.
Yeah, the more damage you do to these tentacles could cause the majority of the harm to the creature.
Yep. All right, I'm going to focus on that one then. And I've got 4 Eldritch Blasts and roll 4d20 at the same time. But it'll move me 30 feet closer to the head of the Kraken also.
All right. So that'll put you up on the wall then.
Well, that's fun. I got 1 nat 20.
Nice.
And I got, hang on, that's plus 13. A 14, a 17, and a 24.
24 and the nat 20 will hit.
Cool. All right, so my Eldritch Blast is 1d10 plus 5. So, all right. So that's the non-nat 20 was 13 force damage, and the nat 20 was 24 force damage.
Nice. That tentacle is looking a little bit rough. It's like scorched and pockmarked with the 2 crossbow bolts hanging out of the fleshy end of it. That'll finish Giantsbane's turn. Winfred, you're up. They'll be at the top of the second round with the Kraken on deck.
Okay. First thing I am going to do is, what is this thing called? This is a ability. As a magic action, I can expend a use of wild shape to cause spectral trees and vines to appear in a 15-foot cube within 120 feet of me. And me and my allies have half cover when we're in that area, and we gain resistance to poison and lightning. So I'm going to cast that in the area where we are.
Okay.
Or I guess I'm going to run forward like 10 feet and then do that.
Okay.
Does that count as 1 action or 2? Because it's a sort of a feature, not really a spell.
No, it's not a spell. That's exactly what the action point's for. So it's just
Okay.
1 action point to do it.
Okay, so 1 action point to do that. That'll give us half cover, which half cover, I think it adds to your AC. It gives you +2 to your AC and to your
Correct.
dex saving throws.
Yep.
Nice.
And
That's
then
genius.
that's a good ability. And then I'm gonna throw, because I'm now within 150 feet of this guy's head, I'm gonna throw a fireball at him.
All right.
Oh,
You said it's a 15-foot cube, right?
It's a 15-foot cube. That's right.
Yeah, so it's pretty good size.
Awesome.
Let me go down 1 size. I'm at ×5. There we go.
And maybe I'll just, because I suspect people are going to want to move forward, I'll just scoot it so that we're sort of at the back of it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I'm in the middle of it.
Perfect. And then I'll do a fireball. It has to make a dex saving throw of 19. I'm going to do this at 7th level.
there we go. That's a little bit more manageable. It's probably more accurate. There. Boom. All right. And that gives you and Jophis cover, correct?
It gives us half cover. Well, and it
Okay.
should, if is it covering Giantsbane as well?
I'm up on a ledge.
Yeah, he like popped forward 30 feet. So he's kind of up on the ledge looking down into the creature down on the beach.
Okay, I did run 10 feet forward, so I guess he's still 20 feet in front of me.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all right.
All right, so then the creature has to make a dex saving throw of 19.
Okay, good choice. It is not dexterous. That is a 14 plus 0.
Yeah. Okay, so let me now roll my dice. I'm gonna just do it in D&D Beyond.
What level did you cast it at?
I cast it at 7th level, but I'm
Are you focusing on tentacles or the main head of the creature?
Well, I guess I'll focus it. Should I just be focusing on tentacles so that we're getting hit less? I'll shoot it right at this guy's head.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, so how do I roll the damage for this? Let's see.
If it's a fireball spell, it
Okay.
should give
There you
you,
go.
if you cast at the certain level that you
Alright.
want to use it at, it should give you the damage die.
So that's 43 points of damage.
Ooh, 43 points of fire damage.
Yeah.
Which it is vulnerable to. So that is
Excellent.
86 points of
Ooh,
fire
okay,
damage.
fantastic.
And all you smell is calamari. And like the head of the Kraken has like this boiled bit of its flesh and smoke and flame coming off of its head. The whole body kind of, like the whole head kind of rises up in the air and undulates the water. As a reaction, it's going to cause a tidal wave effect.
All right.
I need everyone to make strength saves, please.
Our forte.
Not Dex.
Not Dex.
Out of the box.
Oh, that's not bad though.
I got a 12.
That's going to fail.
17.
That'll fail.
Sick.
That'll fail. All three of you will take 18 points of bludgeoning damage, and all
right.
three of you are knocked prone.
Okay.
Oh.
I thought tonight's music was perfect for this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're prone. That means that he has disadvantage on hitting us, right?
No, it means he has advantage because
I thought
they're
your
melee
prone was
attacks, not ranged.
disadvantage.
No, it's
But
ranged attacks.
But they're
Oh, okay.
also in half cover. So now they're like further inside the trees.
Yeah.
And you're still
I believe you have 1 AP left, correct?
I walked forward 10 feet, so is that my 4th AP?
Yeah, so that's 1 AP, and then the vines.
2
and
for the
then
spell, and then the
fireball.
vines.
Yep, that will
Okay.
finish your turn.
All right.
Top of the second round. Oh, I gotta do this.
I forgot to say, I've got the amulet of shoot, what's it called? Hang on, I'll look at it in a minute. Medallion of Regeneration. So I get to, hang on, is it roll or I just get 12? I get 12 HP back per round.
Oh, nice.
So that was a little intentional.
Yeah, I would imagine. This way, this will remind you that he is vulnerable to fire.
Awesome.
Oops, that's probably too big. Let's make that more. There we go.
Put it on his head.
Like
Yum,
a calamari
tasty.
barbecue, baby. All right, that will finish top of the second round. The Kraken is up. He is going to wash, rinse, and repeat. Although now going after Winfred, he's already got advantage. So does this mean he gets double advantage for prone?
For who?
3
Which one?
d20. But Winfred and Joseph both have +2 to your armor class now as well.
Yeah.
And
But he's going to go after Giant's Bane first. First
I'm
attack.
still displaced with so that would be
It'd be regular.
Oh, wait.
advantage
And I'm
this time.
still small, so there still should be. They shouldn't
So
have
regular.
advantage
Yeah,
on
yeah,
this
that's
crit.
true. That's true. So these are going to be regular advantage attacks on you.
Yep.
Because because you're prone.
Yep.
The first attack is going to be 11 plus 15 is 26.
hit.
Why am I using that dice? 28
Hit.
and 27.
All 3 hit.
All right. That is going to be 41 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And he's gonna do it again because he gets 3 attacks per action. That's a 1 and a 4.
Neither of those hit.
That is gonna be a 10 plus 15, 25.
Just hits. Or
Okay.
hits 12. Yeah, oh, barely hit, yeah.
And a 31.
4 hits.
That was 2 hits. That's gonna be 28 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh,
And
no.
his-
Sorry. Yeah, I got you. You said 28
and then,
that time?
and then his final attack. That is going to be. That's a 2 and a 3. That's an 18.
Nope.
Okay, that'll miss. Second action point. He's going to do Tidal Surge yet again. Everyone give me strength saves.
That's an
Yeah.
11 for me.
That'll fail.
15.
That'll fail. 8 will fail. All of you will take 9 points of bludgeoning damage. And you are pulled 20 feet towards him.
Oh, I'll take that.
You are pulled down onto the beach. Oops. thought I had locked that in place. Let's lock that. That'll bring you guys forward the edge. All right, Giant Spain is down here now. Giant Spain take 4 points of falling damage as well.
Yep.
Let's see. He is going to spend his final 6 attacks destroying the ruin. So I'm going to roll to see if he does all the basic hits. Just gotta get a 10 or higher or 5 or higher on the rolls. 1 miss, 2 miss, so 4 hits. The ruin is now in really rough shape. I need Jofis and Winfred to make dex saves, if you would, please.
All right, we do have. What is our benefit on dex saves
+2.
during the sanctuary?
You have a +2.
+2 on dex. Okay.
So I got a 23 then.
That'll save.
I rolled
No
bad.
effect.
I got a 5 + 3 + 2 is, I'm sure, not going to do it.
Yeah. As you try to scramble out of the way, one of the one of the walls crumbles down onto you, doing 7 points of bludgeoning damage.
All right.
And that will finish the creature's turn. Jofis, you are up with Giant Spain on deck.
And I'm still prone.
You are still prone.
All right, so use an action point to get up.
And you still have half your movement remaining.
Okay.
Wrong one.
So how close am I to this head now?
You're probably at 140 feet.
All right, so
You're within 40 or 50 feet of the tentacles now.
so I want to use. So my movement is 35. So I have what are you saying? 15 feet of movement.
So you have
That would
15
give
feet
me-
left. Or you have 20 feet of movement left.
That would give me 20 feet of movement. That would get me within 120 feet of the head. Correct.
Correct.
So that's 2 action points I've used because I got up and then walked
Well, no,
over.
1 AP includes half your movement of getting up and
Okay,
your remaining
awesome.
movement. to move.
Oh, great. So I got 3. All right, so I'm going to
You're down on the beach as well.
All right, I'm going to use the... Oh, shit, where is it?
I mean, that's what it looks
All right,
like.
it's just
moving
going back.
all
It's
the
just
way
going
out.
back and forth between all of these. So I'm gonna. You guys are gonna see me take the arrows that I have and dig them into my skin, and just until like you see all these scars I had start to rip open again on this really fucked up looking arm I have, and I just yell, "Get ready to get milked!" And
Oh, the blood milker. I don't know how I feel about that. That sounds so grody. It's perfect.
so I got to take 1d10 of damage myself. So that's 9 damage to do that to myself. Fun. But I did not roll well. Well, I rolled well, but not for myself. So now I add, with that Crimson Rite I just did, I'm making my crossbow essentially have the Rite of the Flame, which when I deal extra damage, the extra damage dealt by my crossbow now is fire damage.
Nice.
Nice.
Vulnerable too.
So-
Good choice.
Do that, and then let's just start trying to pick them off with this with my crossbow.
So you have 2
I
AP
get-
left.
I have 2 AP left.
Yep.
That's an 8 plus 8 plus 10, 18. First shot.
18 watch as the bolt bounces off the rubbery hide of the creature.
That's good. And 20, dirty 20.
20 is its armor class. You watch. as the bolt-
Nice.
Are you going for the head or the tentacles?
The head.
Okay.
All right, so then I get
Keep your piercing and your fire damage separate, because whatever your fire damage is will be times 2.
So that's 9 regular damage, 6 fire damage.
Is that times 2, or is that your base?
Times
damage?
2. Times 2.
Okay.
So 12.
All right. Got a final AP left.
Yep. Let's crossbow it again.
At disadvantage.
At disadvantage? Okay.
Yep.
The second time.
Yep.
Fuck. All right. That'll be missed. That's a 12.
Okay.
And this
I'll tell you what you could do is you could shoot at a tentacle instead of its head, and they'd be regular attacks.
Let's do that then.
Okay.
So is one of the more damaged tentacles I rolled a 27 then to hit.
That'll definitely hit with an extra D4 of damage.
7, 4 of damage. Mistake. 3, 7 plus 3 is. That's 10 of regular damage.
Okay.
And then 8 of fire damage.
And you can re-roll that one shot that was a miss if you want to, because it was at disadvantage.
And that'll be a miss. 3 plus 10.
That will finish Joseph's turn as he's
Oh,
going
that
to
was
move down
fun.
on the beach.
So much shit to do with that. I'm so used to being a spellcaster.
Yeah, right?
It's fun to just like play around with, but it's complicated. It's complicated.
Yeah. Both Giantsbane and Jophis are now down on the beach closer to the creature. Giantsbane, you are up with Winfred on deck.
So I'm gonna have first action point, half of my movement to get up.
Okay.
I'm not even gonna bother with the rest of the movement though, because I'm going to cast Maddening Darkness. It's a 150 foot range, 60 foot radius sphere of darkness on the head of the Kraken.
Nice.
And it has to make a Wisdom 21 saving throw.
Ooh, good choice. That is an 8 plus 0.
All right, so now I get to do 8d8 psychic damage.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah. Pick the good spells, right?
My God, I got to remind myself to use legendary actions. I keep forgetting.
It's fine.
I usually, when it's a small group, I don't have as many.
All right, 8d8, and this is psychic damage, just FY. All right,
Okay.
so that's 8, 16, 24, 44, 41 psychic damage.
Nice. That causes the creature to kind of partially come out of the water. Its huge beak is like viewable. It looks like just a massive like hole in like the side of a mountain as it opens and the water rushes into its mouth, and you hear this chortle like yell like echo out from the creature from the pain that it takes.
Also, because of my fun special stuff, I'm going to move 30 feet ahead with that.
Okay.
Because for any attack or action that I make, I can move 30 feet. So I'm moving 30 feet closer again.
All right. Put you right there up on the rock.
And then the janky looking tentacle, I'm going to, with my
one
last
that's already
action,
taken damage.
Yeah, the one that's already taken damage. I'll Eldritch Blast it one last time.
Go for it.
So it's four Eldritch Blasts directed towards that.
Okay. Goliath Warlock, man, this is tasty.
Nice. I think all of these hit. They're all plus 13. One's a nat 20. And then a 25, 29, and a 26.
All of them hit, yeah.
All right. Those
Do
are
the math,
D10s.
baby. Do the math.
D10s. All right. That's back
Oh my
to the
God.
math.
Alexa, your room is purple.
I know. I have like little colored lights, and it always gets purple and purpler as things get dark.
Sorry.
It's cool.
I was doing that just to tick off that I used that spell, so I don't do it again. Sorry about that.
No worries.
Hang on. Where's my Eldritch Blast? There we go. +5. Okay. So that's 13 plus 14 is 27, plus 12 is 39, plus 14 is 53.
You watch as that withered and damaged tentacle crawls back into the water.
Nice.
And then I get 12 HP. And that's my turn.
Finish your turn. Winfred, you are up. You're currently prone up by the device, looking down towards this massive, dark, kind of like energy that's now enshrouded the head of the creature.
Okay.
Sorry, before you go, my bad. At the end of your turn, Giantsbane, it is going to use 3 legendary action to do Tidal Surge yet again. But he's going to focus it on you specifically. So, Giantsbane, give me a strength save.
Yep. That's 10.
That'll fail. That'll pull you down into the water. Prone. And you will take 12 points of bludgeoning damage.
Yep.
Are you concentrating on anything?
On the darkness.
Give me a 10 or higher.
Yep, with advantage because Warcaster. Oh god, I got advantage out of 1 and an 18.
So you're still concentrating
Yep,
on that
still
effect.
concentrating,
So you're good. Winfred, you are up. Then we'll be at the top of the 3rd round.
Okay. Is Giantsbane more than 60 feet from me right now?
Oh yeah, he is probably close to 100 feet away from you.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, I got healing spells, but at a range I think of 60 feet. Let's see. Let me just.
I am
check.
so surprised that no one took Boots of Fly. I thought for sure those would be the boots everyone took.
You know, I was looking. I was gonna go for the Ring of Fly myself, but then I decided against it.
Okay. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get up, and I will, use my remaining movement to jump down, to the ground.
I'll put you right next to Joseph.
So that's 1 action point, and how far am I from Giantsbane now?
You are 60 feet.
Oh, perfect. All right, let me throw a heal at Giantsbane. I will do the heal at... let me do it at 6th level, which will give you 70 HP.
Ooh, thank you.
So now I've used 3 action points, and I have 1 left. Quick question. I'm looking at this feature that I used, the Nature's Sanctuary, and it doesn't describe a mechanic by which you move Nature's Sanctuary. Do we think that it moves with me, or is it kind of like you put it somewhere and it's stuck there?
You put it there, you put it somewhere and it stays there.
Okay. Is this a thing that I can only use once? Oh, it looks like I can do it more than once. So I'll pop it down to where, since I only have 1 action point left anyway, I'll pop it down to where we're standing now.
Okay.
And that'll be my turn.
All right. I'll finish Winfred's turn. Top of 3rd round. The Kraken is up. A new tentacle. 1 AP to move a tentacle in range. 2nd AP, because you, Giantsbane, are prone and you're in the water. He is going to take... he's got advantage on you. It'd be double because you're prone, but because you're displacing, it's now just regular advantage.
He's also in darkness. Can he see me?
Oh, that means he's at disadvantage. So that's a regular roll. So this is going to be 3 regular rolls. That is going to be a 22, a 23, and a 28.
Only 1 hits.
Okay. That is going to be 8 plus 10, 18 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And
I'll roll.
2 AP.
I'll roll my.
Your con save.
Con save.
3 times, 10 or higher.
Yep, that's a nat 20 on that one. So.
Ooh.
You gotta do it 3 times because they're 3 separate or 2 times, 2 separate hits.
Only 1 hit.
No, I thought 2 hit.
Nope. 23.
Oh,
23,
oh, that's right.
minutes.
Just 1 hit. That's right.
Yeah.
The tentacle is then going to shift towards Winfred. These will be 3 regular rolls because it is blind.
Is it within 10 feet of me? That tentacle?
The tentacle is, absolutely.
Okay. Did you say it's gonna move to hit them, or it's just turning to hit them?
It's just target. It's got a 60-foot reach, so it's just gonna.
Okay.
It had already moved it previously.
Yep. Okay.
And
Sorry.
is it coming at me and Jofus now?
Correct.
And you said it's regular rather than an advantage because
of darkness.
So is it a disadvantage for me because I'm also small?
Yes, that is true. I'll have to roll these
Excellent.
separate. First one is a 7 plus 15 is a 22. Second one is a 15 plus 6 is a 21. And then the third one is a 15 plus 15 is a 30. Sorry, 15 plus 15 is a 30 on the third one.
Is that for me or for Jofus?
That's for you.
That was with disadvantage? Oh my god.
For you have plus
those
2
all
on your
hit.
armor class.
Yeah, but even so, those all hit.
Okay.
21 is my armor class.
Gotcha. Where is that other dice? There you are. Blood splatter. I rolled crappy. 2, 5, 12, plus 30. That's 42 points of bludgeoning damage.
All right.
And then 3 regular attacks coming at Jofus. That is a 19, a 29, and a 32.
29 and the 32 hit.
Okay. That is going to be 34 points of bludgeoning damage. So it's 1 AP to move the tentacle, 1 AP to make the 3 attacks. 3 attacks, that's all 4 AP. That'll finish the Kraken's turn. Jofus, you are up with a Giant's Bane on deck.
All right. I have this ring of shooting stars.
Nice.
Which I can use the charges to make 1 to 4 spheres appear 120 feet from me. Oh, it appears in an unoccupied space.
Yep.
So I can't put it on the... But I will put it right in front of Giant's Bane because he's kind of getting walloped.
Okay.
So it protects him and sheds a dim light. And with that, if the tentacle goes into that, I get to roll 4d12 damage. If I'm understanding that correctly. I'm essentially using ball lightning.
Gotcha.
So I'll be right in front of you. Just don't go into that Giant's Bane.
Excuse me.
Gotcha.
Then I'm going to put on my next AP, I'll put on my Cloak of Invisibility. Try to be more
invoking magical items like cloaks and boots and stuff is passive, so that's you just invoke it.
Okay, so no AP used on that?
Correct.
Oh, killer. Why didn't I do that earlier?
The only time it uses an AP is like if it's a wand or a relic that describes a specific use or function.
Okay. And then...
So there's a ball of lightning next to Giant's Bane, correct?
Yeah, yes, right in front of him if he were to be attacked from the direction of the tentacle that's next to him.
Yeah.
And then...
So what do you have left? 1 AP?
Yes.
Okay.
And then, we'll just hit him again with the crossbow. The which tentacle looks the...
Well, the one that took the brunt of the damage is already... Yeah, that one's already recoiled back into the water. This is a new one. This one has not taken much damage yet.
Okay. I'll go after that one.
Okay, go for it.
21.
21 will hit. Roll for damage. And are you still doing or fire damage
Yes.
with the crossbow? Okay.
Yes. That is 5, 9 on the first one. That's 8, 16 on the second one.
Okay.
So total of
Second
25
one will
damage.
miss. That's damage. Sorry.
And then for the second roll, 8 plus 18 for my second attack.
Nope, that'll miss, unfortunately. The
Okay.
bolt bouncing off the rubbery hide of the tentacle.
That's
That'll
my
finish
turn.
Jophus's turn. Giantsbane, you are up with Winfred on deck.
All right. So again, half movement speed to get up, right? So that's one
Yep.
action. That tentacle that's through the lightning is within 10 feet of me, right?
Correct.
Because I have reach with my arm whip thing that I can get 10 feet of range out of my swing.
Yeah, go for it.
So I'm going to it'll be 3 shots because I get 3 attacks per action because
Yep.
Hexblade. So yeah, 3 attacks per action. Go on and roll. Actually, I want to, so bonus action, if it's a Hexblade's curse, to apply the curse on something, is that a passive or an active?
That's an action point.
Okay. So that'll be my second action point to apply
Okay.
Hexblade curse
Okay.
onto the tentacle there.
Hexblade curse.
Yep. Take that off. It's cursed for 1 minute or until it dies. I get a +6 to bonus to damage rolls and score crit on a 19 or a 20.
Nice. Yeah, that's pretty
Yep.
epic.
So, all right, 3 attacks.
You sounded very tanky, man. This character sounded tanky.
On purpose. So,
Yeah.
I'm trying to make a tanky warlock. That's why it was a Goliath to
Yeah.
be a tanky warlock. Yeah. So that's 1 crit and then 2 dirty 20s.
All 3 will hit.
All right. And the 1's a crit. So
Go for
that's
it. Max out your dice,
Yep.
then roll it again, and then add your modifier.
okay. All right. Okay. So that's math. 8 on the not crit, 2 8s on the not crit. Plus 1d6 for both of those. Sorry, hang on.
Yeah,
Of
'cause
psychic.
Hexblade
Yep.
curse.
I get the
And remember,
psychic
Hexblade
on
curse
there.
is also maxed out as
3.
well for the crit.
Yep. Okay. Sorry. So that was 21 for the first 2 swings total.
Okay.
And then for the third, it's 3. So 7 plus 7 plus 6 plus 2. 14, 22.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
22 for the for the crit.
Yeah, man, that tentacle's looking a bit rough after that volley of attacks.
And then I'm going to use, because I can do it once per turn, I'm going to use, what's it called? It's what a Hexblade, Life Drinker,
Okay.
where I can do an extra 1d6 necrotic psychic radiant to the creature for my attack. It's
Okay.
another extra 1d6, and then I can roll a hit die to get some HP back.
Okay, go for it.
So that's 5 more. Make that necrotic damage.
Okay.
And then I'll roll my hit die, get me 9, because I get 9 HP back from that.
Okay, you have any AP left?
I have 1 AP left. So you said this
Technically,
one,
you still have half your movement left too.
yeah. It was, and so I can. I'm gonna use. Actually, I get 30 feet of bounce out of that, right? I'm gonna bounce 30 feet closer to the Kraken.
Nice. Put you at the edge of the darkness effect.
Yep. And then, I forgot to ask. He needs to make a wisdom saving throw in that darkness. At the end of his turn, every turn,
Okay.
whether or not he takes damage. It's a 21.
That is a 17 plus 0.
All right, so that's 8 more d8 of damage to him.
Go for it. Yeah.
Woo, buddy.
Oh,
Nice.
hell yeah. That's great.
7.
I mean, every bit you could drop. I mean, every bit you could squeeze because this thing
Yeah.
is a bucket of hit points.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah,
so either by losing a certain amount of tentacles, it retreats, or if you actually destroy the head of the Kraken, obviously it's defeated. So either or of those options could come into effect.
Okay, so that's 10, 20, 29 psychic damage that time.
Very nice. Not nearly as good as the last one, but that's still 29 points.
Oh yeah, still 29 points. Yeah, there's a lot of 2s and 3s that time. All right.
You still have 1 AP left.
Yeah, still one hit. So I bounce closer to him. The other 2, the double tentacle that's right below, is that what range is that from me right now?
10 feet.
10 feet. Okay. Rather than swing at that one, I'm gonna split my Eldritch Blast, and I'm gonna go both through. I'm gonna go 2 to the double tentacle there, and 2 to the one that was next to the lightning.
Okay.
So that's I'll roll the 2 towards the lightning one first.
Okay.
That way I know what I rolled there. That's a 29 and a 17. So only one's gonna hit, I think.
Yeah, only one hits.
And then towards the other tentacle, a nat 20 and a 19.
Which is a crit.
No,
right?
not
Is
on
it a
Eldritch Blast. Not on Eldritch
Oh,
Blast.
okay, that's right. It's on your weapon.
Yeah. So there's
Okay.
one crit and then one 19 plus 13. So
Which will
32.
hit. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let me get that. So one hit the other. That was a D10. 8 plus. I got to click back off that screen. 8 plus 5 is 13 damage to the single tentacle over there. And then. Oh. All right. 8 plus 10 plus 10. 28 total to the other tentacle. That's with the max crit. I rolled 2 4s. I get plus 1 d10 for the crit, plus 2 plus 5s, which is another 10. So yeah, 28 for the other. Yeah.
Nice. At the end of your turn, make a strength save as the creature is going to spend 3 legendary action to do Tidal Surge. And this effect is
it's
different.
9.
Yeah, this is different because you're within 30 feet of it now.
Okay.
So you feel the Tidal Surge kind of crash over you, but then quickly pull you underneath the water.
Okay.
You are currently drowning.
Oh.
So you're
I'm just underwater. Yeah.
Yeah, you're underwater, currently drowning. You're considered incapacitated, and you take 12 points of bludgeoning damage.
I mean, unless I use my 30 feet of bounce after that Eldritch Blast attack to pop away, but
You could if you want.
yeah, I'll use that to pop backwards.
Almost back where you were before?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I'm just trying to make it harder to hit me because I'm moving all over the battlefield.
No, makes sense.
Yeah.
Like a red laser beam in front of a bored cat.
Uh-huh.
That will finish
So
your turn.
How does that? Well,
Winston.
how does that change the damage I take? Sorry, because I was getting pulled under. I didn't.
Oh,
get
okay.
damage.
Instead of being incapacitated and drowning, you just take the damage.
Okay. How much? What was the damage? Sorry, I was.
It was 8 points of
okay.
bludgeoning damage.
Got it.
All right, Winfred, you are up. Then we'll be at the top of the 4th round with the creature on deck, with the Kraken on deck.
All right. I have a spell called Wall of Fire that allows me to make a wall up to 60 feet long, 20 feet high, and 1 foot thick. I'm wondering if I can run it like through a couple of this guy's tentacles, or like through his head and a couple tentacles.
Yeah, I think
I
that
like
would work.
that.
So how long is it?
It's 60 feet long.
Well, I think you could probably get like the double tentacle in his head at least.
Yeah. Oh, put
Hey,
Charizard there.
Yeah, put Charizard out for that.
I know, right? We
Look,
will use.
We have to fight Charizard in a fight now sometime, right?
Yeah, oh, exactly.
Charizard is now doubling for Jamansa Ord.
So you're getting, and I believe it stays up for a while, right?
It's concentration for up to a minute.
Yeah. So from here all the way out to its head.
Yeah,
Well-
does that work? Is it so? Am I within 120 feet of his head now?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
On the
Okay,
beach you are.
alright. So yeah, maybe through a tentacle in the head or something.
You want to do it like through here, or I mean, technically,
or just run it through the 3 tentacles. I could do
yeah.
that.
I mean, you can either run it through the
It doesn't have to be a straight line, right? It can
right.
be
No, it can be a
curved.
squiggle.
So
Yeah.
And
if you can get 60 feet with the head and 2 of the tentacles, that would be awesome.
Yeah. Like
All
that.
right, let's try
Yeah,
and
like
do
that.
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me mark. See how we're doing. So from this tentacle to there, that is 75 feet. So best you could do is 2 tentacles,
Okay.
or the head and 1 tentacle.
All right, I'll do the head and 1 tentacle.
Okay. I'll leave the markers out there, even though I can't see them. I know that they're there.
And he has to make a dex saving throw of 19.
Yeah, he's not very good at those.
He's a big guy.
That's a 4 plus 0.
Yes. All right.
And I purposely did not give the Kraken any legendary resistance because there's only 3 of you tonight. So
Excellent.
Woo!
All right.
considering
so-
if he ever gets a natural 20 on one of those tentacle strikes,
Yeah, he's probably gonna.
one of
wipe
you
us
is
out,
seriously going to be in trouble.
yeah.
All right. So
Yeah, roll that fire damage and then times it by 2.
that's
Oh,
26 times 2
52.
is 52.
Nice.
Will it be 52 to the tentacle and 52 to the head, or just?
Absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah.
fantastic!
Oh hell yeah!
This tentacle is now looking very, very rough.
Excellent.
Between the
I crit it once.
shot, between the shot from Giant Spain and you, that tentacle is looking rough. And keep in mind, 1 tentacle is already down.
Fabulous. And then, Jofus, how are you looking on hit points?
I mean, like a third of the way down. Like I have like a third of my HP left.
Okay, I'm gonna do a mass cure wounds for you and me at 5th level, just because this guy
you guys
deals
are
a lot
right
of
by it.
damage.
Yeah.
I have
So
potions too, just as an FYI.
that's 23 points of healing to you and to me.
Huge, nice.
And that's my turn, because that's 2
All
spells.
right. Top of the 4th round. The Kraken is up with Jofus on deck. This thing is hurting and it's ready to do some serious attacks. So the tentacle nearest Giant Spain is going to move through the lightning structure to strike at Giant Spain. So go ahead and roll the damage.
Let me just pull that up again. I'm sorry. It's 4d12.
Yeah, go for it.
That's great.
That tentacle's looking pretty rough too.
Nice.
Where's my d12?
It's the one that looks like a mini D20.
A dohedron, whatever that word is.
16 points.
16
Nice.
points of damage. It is looking very rough. It literally has 3 hit points left.
Oh, I rolled
There
2 ones on
are
this d12.
3 regular attacks coming at you, Giant Spain. No, they are disadvantaged because there's still darkness on them.
And I'm still
And you're displaced,
displaced,
so they're
yeah.
disadvantaged. Yeah, first one is a 29.
It'll hit.
Second one
Well,
is
let
a...
me- So I'm going to react to the first hit. Armor of Hexes.
Okay.
If the target cursed by your Hexblade's curse hits you with an attack roll, you can use your reaction to roll a d6 on a 4 or higher. The attack misses instead, regardless of the roll.
Go for it. Yeah, epic.
So, that's a 5.
That'll
So
do
that
it.
one missed.
Attack,
Yep.
Yeah, that one will miss. The second attack was a dirty 20.
Okay, that misses.
Okay, third attack. That's going to be Gambler's Luck. That is 2 natural 19.
Ooh.
That is a
Unfortunate.
crit. So he normally does a d12. So it's 12 plus 11 is 23 plus 10 is 33 points of bludgeoning damage.
Yep.
And I need you to make a strength save, please.
Strength save. Oh boy.
Yep.
12.
You are grappled and restrained and being held underwater by the tentacle.
And I roll my
Run
concentration as well, right?
This one. Yeah, your concentration as well.
Yep. What am I looking to beat this time?
Well, that was a lot of damage.
Yep, I missed it. Yeah, no.
Okay.
Without a doubt,
So
but it's 6 and a 4. So.
Yeah, darkness will go away.
Yep.
Just too bad because that was pretty epic. That was a good spell.
Yep.
That was its first AP. With its second AP, it is going to move this tentacle up into the beach area. Its third AP, it's going to move this tentacle up into the beach area. Winfred, you have 3 regular attacks coming at you.
All right.
That is a 28, a 33, and a dirty 20.
2 will hit.
Okay. That is 12 plus 20 is 32 points of bludgeoning damage.
All right.
Yeah, he only can attempt to grapple on you at on critical hits.
Oh, and I probably have to make concentration saving throws for the.
Yeah, 2 separate ones.
Okay.
So you need neither one of them would be higher than the 10. So you need 2 10s or higher.
Okay, I got a 10 and I got a 22.
Yep, you're still concentrating on the wall of fire, which is now extending from where the. Why is that? Oh, Control C, Jay. Just to remind us that it's a wall of fire going into his face. Into your face. All right. That will finish the Kraken's turn. Jophus, you are up with a Giant's Bane on deck.
Because the Kraken finished their turn still like in the range of the firewall.
Yep.
I believe I roll another 5d8.
You do. Go for it.
All right.
And multiply it by 2 because it is vulnerable to fire.
All right. It like rolled, but it's not loading. What's going on? Okay, that's 17 times 2 is 34 points of damage.
Boy, that smell of calamari is permeating.
All right, so I'm up, I assume.
Yes, Jophus, you are up with Giant's Bane on deck.
Question: does that ball lightning thing disappear when it gets broken, or does it?
It's a good question.
So if it stays there, because I don't think it's a concentration effect, it might go away.
That's what. Yeah.
Hold it. Let me double check that. Good question, Kurt.
I'm digging this monster music, man.
Uh-huh.
The name of the track is Monster.
Yeah, as long as I concentrate, it remains as long as I'm concentrating up to a minute.
Nice.
So you're currently do damage again or no?
What's that?
Does it do damage again then?
Yeah, is the tentacle still within there?
No, it struck at him through it.
Okay.
Okay. All right. I'm just gonna try to crossbow take out that one tentacle.
Yeah, go for it.
Nice.
24.
That'll hit.
Six plus, so 16 points of damage.
That'll be enough for it to wither and collapse into the water, releasing Giant's Bane, and it will pull it back into the water, too injured to be of use. So that's 2 tentacles down.
Excellent.
All right, I want to go, and I'm close.
You still have another attack. You're multi-attack, so
yes, that's right.
You can take that second attack on the other tentacle if you want.
Can I take it on the face of the
crossbow? You are 80 feet away.
It's 120
oh yeah, you're good. Go for it. Yeah.
I just rolled a nat 20. So
hey,
what is that? 3 tonight?
That's
3
crazy.
20s for Ryan today.
Yeah.
That's epic.
That's 6, 8, and so we do. I just double that for the crit.
No, so you roll. You automatically do 6 points.
You max it once, and then you roll for the second
Yeah.
time.
So it's 14, and then 6, so 20 points of damage.
Nice.
Nice. Is it fire damage?
Yeah, yes, that was including the fire damage on it.
Which was doubled already?
Which I doubled it in that equation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, that tentacle now is looking pretty rough as well.
And that's, I'm going to go at it
3
again.
AP left.
Another crossbow. 20.
It's a disadvantage if you're going after the same tentacle. If you switch to the head, it's regular.
18.
Oh, wait, you went for the head or the tentacle? I forgot.
I went for the head the first time.
So are you shooting at a tentacle now?
Yeah, if you're
Now
shooting at
it's
a tentacle,
Then it was the 20 then.
Yeah, the 20 was at the head, but now second roll, since I just rolled an 18 with my bonus to attack the tentacle.
That'll miss, unfortunately. Its armor class is a 20.
All right, shoot my second one, 27 points.
That'll hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
21 points.
21 points. It's still up, but it's looking very, very rough.
All right. 27. This die is fucking awesome, Alexa.
What's
Nice.
What's that?
So that's 2 AP so far.
Yeah.
So are you going back towards the head now, or
no, back just towards those tentacles.
All right, so that's going to be a disadvantage.
Okay.
If you keep shooting at the same tentacle, it'll be a
So
disadvantage.
that'll miss.
Okay.
All right.
Ryan, do you know that like if you were alternating between the head and the tentacles, you wouldn't get disadvantage, but if you shoot at the same thing twice, you do get it? Okay.
Yeah, so I made that mistake. All right. I want to be more creative, but this just seems so good. I don't want to sit here and like mull through all these different banes or bindings, blood curses that I could potentially do. Because I don't have this guy pro'd yet, so.
The joys of a level 21 shot.
Yeah.
Well, I'm about to open up. I'm about to open up on him. It's gonna be fun.
Crossbow at the head. Miss on the first one. 21. Does that hit?
Yep, that'll hit. Roll for damage.
Nice.
1, 2, 4. 12 points of damage on the head.
Okay.
So 1 AP left, I believe.
Yep.
Going for the tentacle.
Go for it.
14. The first hit
14
misses.
miss.
Then 23.
That'll hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
22
Nice.
points of damage.
That will be enough for that one. That one will curl up and retract back into the water. That is the third tentacle. I will say this much. One more tentacle goes, and it retreats from the battlefield.
Ooh.
Quit shooting the tentacles. I'm hungry.
At the end of Jophus's turn, the creature is going to expend 3 action points to do Tidal Surge. This time for the entirety of the beach. Everybody give me strength saves, if you would, please.
Come on.
13. Hey, that's the highest one I've rolled yet.
I know, right?
I got a 5.
It'll fail. Jophus.
13.
All 3 will fail. Everyone take 11 points of bludgeoning damage, and you are knocked prone.
Do we have to do con saving throws again?
Yes.
Or, I mean,
10 or higher. 10 or
concentration.
higher.
Okay.
Both you and Jophus.
That's a 21.
Ugh.
Good.
I rolled a nat 1. That gives me 5.
Yeah,
No.
the ball of lightning will go away. You're no longer concentrating on that. All right. Giant Spain, you are up with Winfred on deck.
Yep. So I'm going to. Let's see. 10 feet. Okay, no, I don't want to use that one. All right. I'm going to. So, if I'll use never mind. I'll use half my movement. Sorry, to get up, and the other half to move closer to the creature. So 15 feet, right? And I'm about 30 feet away now, right?
Correct.
Cool. I'm going to cast my Eldritch Blast, all 4 at the creature.
Okay.
And as a result of that, after that, I'm going to be teleported right up next to the guy.
Okay.
Okay. So 4 Eldritch Blasts incoming. That's 2 hit. So, yeah, 2 or less than 20. 2 hit.
Okay.
All right. None of them are crit, though. I had an 18 and a 19. My dog is going crazy at something right now. I don't know if you guys can hear it.
Yeah. The Eldritch Blast, man.
Right? It's okay, so that's 19 damage total from the Eldritch Blast.
The moment that you get in base with it, I need you to make a intelligence save.
Intelligence?
Okay. Yep.
All right. I'll try a different die for that one. Nope, that's a 1.
No.
You are now under the effect of the Titan's aura. You're gonna hate me for this one. Once again, you are incapacitated and restrained. You can only do 1 action until the beginning of the creature's, or the end of the creature's next turn.
Okay. 1 second. Let me check a couple things real quick. Make sure we're all good.
You take 31 points of psychic damage.
Okay.
Where are you at?
I'm pretty rough. But I'm going to use my Stone's Endurance on that hit to drop it by 1d12 plus 3. I can do that once. It's a Goliath thing.
Yep.
Boy, that's good time for a 12. That was good.
All right.
Nice.
That will finish your turn.
You said 30 points of damage or 31?
31 points of psychic damage.
Okay, so reduced to 16. That's nice.
All right, that'll finish your turn. Winfred, you are up. I forgot to...
Oh, quick question. Can I have moved my Hex onto it?
Sure, that's fine.
Okay, because it's like a bonus action thing.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it seems like we're trying to get rid of the last remaining tentacle. I'm gonna throw a fireball at that tentacle.
Nice.
So that is again Dex save of 19.
That's a natural 4 plus 0.
Love it. All right. So let's see what I get. 12d6. That's 41 times 2 is 82 points of damage to the tentacle.
Woo!
Oh yeah.
That thing is rough. That thing is looking very rough. Holy shit. You have 2 AP left.
Okay, I have 2 AP left.
Are you gonna do it again?
Well, I suppose I could. I suppose I could do it at 8th level.
I could use some help.
Well, I can't get to you. Is he more than 60 feet away?
Oh yeah, he's like 100 plus feet away.
Can I see him?
He is in base with the creature. I mean, you could barely see him. I'm gonna say he is
about 120, 110, 100 feet away.
He is 100 feet away, 120 feet away.
I think there's literally nothing I can do because it would take me all my AP even to get within range of you, and then I couldn't cast a spell.
Okay. I understand.
Can I throw a healing potion at him?
It's a 120-foot throw.
And I
mean, I appreciate that. But
do I even have a healing potion? I don't. Okay. All right. There's literally nothing I can do. So why don't I try throwing one more fireball at this guy at 8th level? But I still only do 12d6, so it's a dex save of 14.
The dex save of 14?
Yes, or of 19, excuse me.
19. I was gonna say,
yeah.
That is a natural 19 plus 0.
No.
It'll take
Okay.
half damage.
Still half damage.
Well, it'll take full damage though, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I should just
Because-
actually.
Technically, yeah, because it's vulnerable.
Is it fine for me to just roll the full damage then
Sure.
for sake of ease? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I think it's still just 12d6. So let's see. That's 23 points of damage. Fire damage.
It has 8 hit points left.
Oh,
Yeah.
All right, that'll finish Winfred's turn. We're at the top of the 5th round. Oh boy.
There's no tentacles around me, at least.
No, just the creature itself.
Right. Hey, that wall of fire's still up, isn't it?
It is.
At the end of his turn, he has to
yeah,
take some
But yeah,
damage.
Yeah. You know what though? He can move. He's going to spend an AP to shift over this way.
I'm going to use my reaction. My one action I can do. I'm going to use my reaction. And because I have Warcaster, I can cast a spell.
Okay.
And I'm going to cast Blade of Disaster.
Okay.
It's 9th level. I create a blade-shaped planar lift 3 feet long in an unoccupied space I can see within range. So as it starts to move away from me, I want to cast that on the other side of it so that we're flanking. So I get 2 swings with that planar blade upon casting it.
Okay, go for it.
All right. So and that would be with advantage, right? Because we're flanking.
It's immune to the flanking effect
Oh.
because of its size.
Oh. Okay. Well. All right. Let's try. Also, this thing crits on 18, 19, or 20.
Go for it. Yeah.
Oh, too bad. Oh, so close. 14 was the higher roll. Okay, so that's a plus. Hang on, I gotta see. We're at plus 13. Okay, so that's a 26. 29. No, sorry. Whoa, gosh, I can't count. 19. So one swing misses. The other one's a 27 though.
Okay,
So
that'll
I
hit.
know one for sure
Damage.
hits. Okay. The one that hits, that would be 4d12. Okay.
oh, come on.
It's the warlock's superior spiritual weapon.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's 23 total damage.
Nice. The head's looking a wee bit, bad, but it's still not looking rough yet.
Jeez.
The head is a bucket of hit points. I mean, yeah. So that was 1 AP for it to move out of the flame. Technically, that fireball marker can go away now because that was a while ago.
It was just to say it's vulnerable.
Let's see. It's gonna spend an AP. Yeah, it's got to do this. It's gonna spend an AP to withdraw this tentacle back out into the water.
Oh.
And then bring in a 3rd AP to bring in a new tentacle. And its 4th AP to do 3 attacks on Winfred. He don't like you.
All right. Fair enough.
Normally at advantage, but you're small, so that's going to be a disadvantage. So it's a regular roll. That's a natural 20.
That'll
My
hit.
first natural 20 tonight. A 23 and a 31.
Those are all gonna hit.
You had one earlier. You crit me earlier.
Oh yeah, that's right. I did have one earlier. So that is going to be a 12. Plus 5 is 17. Plus 10 is a 27. So that's going to be 27 on that. But before I have you make your strength save, I'm going to do the others. So they all hit you?
Yes.
So that's 3 plus 20. So it's 23. So that's 45 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And I need a strength save or else you're grappled by the tentacle.
Okay. Well, it seems a foregone conclusion, but I will roll.
You never know.
It's a 14.
That will fail. You get dragged in with the tentacle as you are now grappled by the tentacle.
Okay.
That'll finish the Kraken's turn. My brain hurts. Jokus, you are up with Giant's Bane on deck.
Nope.
How far is Giant's Bane from me?
Giant's Bane is pretty far.
Well, I was gonna ask a question real quick. If because I used my attack, can I use that 30 feet bounce with my reaction? With a magic action or an attack action, I get 30 feet bounce.
Yeah, but you used a reaction.
Yep.
So yeah, you don't get the bounce.
Okay, that's right.
You are 120 plus feet from Giant's Bane. The tentacle that he withdrew is 200 feet away from you.
200?
Yep.
Oh, decisions. Mr. Bane. I don't know if I should.
If you can hit that tentacle
Yeah. So
one
I
more
want to
time,
move.
it's all over.
So my speed is 35 feet, so I'm going to move 70 feet closer to that farther tentacle.
So you're currently prone from that last title surge.
Okay,
So getting up leaves you 15 feet, which puts you right
15.
here. You
And
have
that's
3
20.
AP left.
Okay.
You can
And
now
how
move
far-
70 if you move 2 AP to move 70 feet. And we'll say you can move around the tentacle, which puts you out in the water. That should get you within 60 feet.
Well, this is 120 feet, my range on the bow.
That gets you within 80 feet of the tentacle. So I'll say if you want to stay here, that puts it at 120 feet, and you have 2 AP left.
Okay, let's do it. That's a natural one.
Wait a minute, that natural one?
On that first roll, yeah.
Yeah, and that first attack is a natural one.
Yeah.
Your crossbow freezes, and the trigger assembly is destroyed.
Oh,
Crossbow is no longer functional on a natty one.
Kidding.
Natty one.
Skills, buddy.
Do you have any
That's
spells
funny.
within 100? Oh, it wouldn't matter because you don't have the actions for it.
What's the range on your throw for your dagger?
Oh,
Like 30 feet, 40 feet.
Yeah.
Like you guys watch Giant Bane get up,
Yeah,
starts running across the beach, brings up his crossbow, and the whole assembly. There's like springs and string coming off the crossbow.
oh man. Is there anything that you have one action point left? Can he fix his crossbow?
I could certainly try.
Yeah, I'll try to fix it so I can at least maybe have it for the next round.
Okay. Are you dex based or strength based? What's your character's primary?
Dex.
Dex? Give me a sleight of hand as you try to fix it.
Still not great. Oh, nat 20 though. 22.
Yeah.
Nice. You definitely spend the remainder of your time, and you manage to put the assembly back together, and your crossbow is fixed. That'll finish your turn. Giant's Bane, you are up with Winfred on deck.
So I'll ask if did the reaction take my action from that because I was the stun.
Yes,
thing,
because
right?
it was
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't matter because the Kraken's turn ended, so the temporal effect is null and void. So you have all of your action points back.
All right then. That Blade of Disaster can move 30 feet as a bonus action.
Okay. So it's an action to move it.
Yeah. So I'll move that in base and take 2 swings with it. Oh, so close. One's a 16, so it definitely doesn't hit. The other is a 17 plus 13 is a 30.
30 will hit.
Yep. And that's 4d12. make sure I'm counting this right. Yeah, 4d12. So that's 12, 16. All right, 16 force damage from that one.
Okay, so it is now officially below its half health. So it's now fallen below half its hit points. I now have to make a charisma save. If I fail my charisma save, it must use its reaction to begin withdrawing. That, my friends, is a natty 1.
Hey!
So as those blades go to bite into its form, you watch as the creature itself, which has to now move its full movement, which is 60 feet out into the water, as its tentacles and form are now beginning to retreat into the water. You guys get the feeling that it is not coming back. It is fleeing the sea.
Okay, cool. I'm still going to attack it anyway.
Okay.
Nice.
I'm just that pissed, right? So, and I didn't come all the way out here for nothing. So I'm gonna cast Circle of Death. On its location.
Okay.
So that'll be 2 AP. It's a 60-foot radius, so I'm gonna make sure that it is. I got 150-foot range. Okay.
In range.
So I'm gonna put it at the. I'm gonna try and line the range up, like see the direction it's going, and line the range up so that it has to continue moving through the circle of death if it's gonna keep trying to escape that way.
Okay, that gets tricky.
So like where it is, right? I'll put it in front of it, but so that it is in it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And it can move 60 feet, so it has the ability to move completely through it, which it's going to do.
Well, so it's a big thing though, so part of it may still be in there at 60 feet, right?
Maybe.
So Circle of Death, just ticking it off there so I can tell that I've ticked it off.
What's the save?
It's con 21.
Okay, now the con is one thing. It's really it's con and strength is what this creature is. So
I figured, but it's still a 21, which is
it has a plus 12 on its con save.
all right.
That is a 13 plus 12. That's 25 on the con save.
All right, so it'll take half damage. Yep, half damage of 8d8. Oh, that was pretty good. So that's 8, 16, 24, 27 necrotic damage.
Nice. That finishes your turn.
Yep.
Winfred, the creature is fleeing. Giant's Bane ire is up as he continues to pursue it with his spells.
I want to bounce. Since I did that spell, I'm going to bounce 30 feet closer, but not within range. Like if I can kind of like go angular.
If you go
or
30 feet closer, you're going to be treading water.
Okay, I'll tread water. 30 feet off to, but not within its 30-foot range, right? So like if I need
Do
to
you
go.
have a swim speed?
Yeah. Walking. Swim speed is just half my regular speed, right?
Yep. So 15 feet.
Well, it's a teleport though.
Correct.
It's
You're 30 feet out, and you're now pretty deep out in the water. So you're treading, and boy, he's chasing a megalith titan. That is just so cool.
Hey, you know.
All right, Winfred, what are you doing? You're up with the creature on deck.
And presumably I'm no longer grappled because it's running away.
Correct, because it dropped you and took off.
I mean, I think Winifred is like, the creature is retreating, leave it to the young men if they'd like to continue to attack. But Winifred's headed back to the beach because it seems like the creature's going away.
Okay. So top of the 6th round. I'll say go ahead and roll necrotic damage one more time.
Okay.
Giant's Bane. But it is going to spend all 4 of its AP to move 240 feet. So.
All right. Oh, that's a lot of twos. Dang. 2, 4, 6, 8.
And that is a 21 15, on the con save. Sorry, 24 on the con save.
8, 15, 24, 12. So 12, having it is 12.
Okay.
Necrotic damage.
Giants Bane, how many times have we had this discussion when the creature runs away? We can let it go.
I was hungry. Smelling all that calamari, I couldn't stop.
The three of you, well, two of you stand on the beach.
Calamari.
Yeah, the two of you stand on the beach as huge pieces of the Kraken's flesh are kind of like floating in the water and settling on the beach. And you watch as a very kind of drenched Giant's Bane with that kind of dark aura of warlock presence kind of boiling around him comes walking, at first swimming.
I'm so mad. I punched the water and bounced 30 feet, and I'm like, you just see me like, and I'm like,
he's like whack-a-moling all over the place. But the three of you are now on the beach. Night has fully descended. What would you like to do next?
Sounds like we have.
How does this thing work?
The ruined building itself, like the ruined foundation, looks pretty rough, but the telescope item appears to be intact.
Well, that thing still looks good. We're supposed to call the dragon person, right?
Yeah. Let's call. I think Jamon is waiting for us somewhere.
No, they never told us how to call him, right?
I think they said send them a message, which is not a thing that I can do.
They said just call out their name.
Oh. Jamon!
There's a crackle of energy over the island. And you watch as the bronze dragon falls out of the portal. Huge wings flapping. Looking around, sees the three of you on the beach, sees the giant device on the platform. As you guys crawl on to Jamon's back and begin the journey back towards Marquette, the journey's slower this time. You look down below underneath Jamon's Ord. Their massive form has grappled on to the device, and it was pulled out of the wards of protection where Jamon took the full brunt of the outcomes of the wards, allowing Winfred and the others to heal them after the fact. But you can feel the wind kind of just flowing past you and over you as you are now heading off in the direction of Marquette. Takes a few days, few stopping points, resting, recovery, the discussion about the Kraken, the foghorn effect that called the Kraken into action. A couple things you realize. The foghorn effect was not part of the original wards that were protected on the device. You get the feeling that the device becoming active is what bellowed out that thaumaturgy of effect. That thaumaturgy effect appears to be linked to the use of the device. Whenever the device is used, you get the feeling that a pulse out to a creature or titan calling it forth is linked somehow to this device. For whatever reason, being near the sea, it called forth a kraken. If you use it on land or in the air, it's unsure as to what it might call next. But during your travels, eventually you see the Ramadan Desert flowing underneath the form of Jamonsa Ord's dragon, and you see the familiar sauropod off in the distance. But you see something else interesting as well. Airships near the sauropod, near Rockhaven. You can see the balloon airship that Puck calls home, but a different kind of airship can be seen. It is currently settled into the sand of the desert. And you see familiar, well, they're not familiar to you. They would be familiar to Puck, but you do see you see Puck down on the sand talking. Earthen, what do you think Earthen would look like at this point after so many years and after so many travels?
A lot more gray, a lot more wrinkles. He's still got some of his hair color, but it's just streaked with gray all the way through it. He's let his beard grow out because he was living in the Shattered Teeth, with the Voik. So he's also more. His clothing is still flamboyant, but it's more Voik style and flamboyant now, as opposed to like what he had on in Nicodrana's kind of stuff. He still has on the dragon crown though. He still wears the crown from the crown of the Voik, with the dragon head on the front and everything, with the gems in it as well. But not a lot else. He still obviously still has the whalebone lute across his back, and generally like he would be about 60 now, around his 60s. So still somewhat spry for his age, because the Voik are pretty tough people and they're going to keep you tough down there. but still very much the same earthen.
And standing next to this bardic individual, you can see a tabaxi as well. With Puck, the tabaxi, and this bard standing, they look up to see Jaman Saord's dragon form circling above, coming down, lowering the device into the sand first. Just this heavy kind of like weighted thud of the device into the sand, kind of rippling the effect. You then feel Jaman Saord's physical form settle into the sand as well. As the three of you get off of their back, you watch as Jaman Saord forms back into their normal appearance. You watch as Puck, with a huge smile on her face, comes racing over to Jaman and embraces Jaman with a hug. They exchange words, but as the three of you get closer to this reunion, the tabaxi and the bard coming over to Puck as they joyfully give their thanks and their words of kindness to Jaman Saord. You watch as Puck turns away from everybody, walks over to the device, and mumbles under your breath, "If this can't find you, Xanath, nothing can." And that's where we're going to finish tonight.
Wait. That thing calls big beasts. Just
Puck don't care.
Yeah,
that's a concern for the others, not her.
Yep. Earthen and Spot are like, wait.
Puck's gonna summon another Tyrannosaurus.
I can't wait to see what Ryan's gonna choose to play for the part 2 of the redemption arc.
He could play Jophus,
Yeah, he could play Jophus.
I mean, technically, I guess he kind of could, right? Because now Jophus could travel.
He's met us now
with the others.
The whole tracking stuff down.
Yeah. Well, everyone, thank you for joining us tonight. We will be. Are we back? We're back next Sunday, right?
I think so.
Our schedule is we're back next Sunday, but we're off the 27th and we're off the 4th. Correct? We're off those 2 days, but we may do a one shot on the 4th, depending if Tally and Eric are available. So we'll figure that out.
Down for that.
You guys go ahead and linger. We'll talk and chat. Everyone else, be safe, be kind. Don't forget, play a game. We'll see you guys all next week. Bye, everybody. That was a fun one shot. That was lots of fun.
I wanted to kill that